If you tell anyone, your father will hate you and he will send you away, said Uncle Kunle to Tola. In a beautiful city of Port Harcourt, there lived a man named Mr. Shegun. He was a hard-working and wealthy man. Mr. Shegun worked as a manager in one of the best banks in the city. He had a beautiful mansion with tall gates and shiny cars. Mr. Shegun had a 9-year-old daughter named Tola. Tola was a cheerful and curious girl. She loved drawing and playing in the garden behind the big house. But Tola's mother, Mrs. Shegun, had passed away when Tola was just a baby. After his wife died, Mr. Shegun brought his younger brother Kunle to live with them. Kunle was 17 years old and waiting to go to the university. Kunle had finished secondary school with good grades but had to wait until the next school year to start his studies. Mr. Shegun worked very hard. He left home early in the morning and came back late at night. He wanted to make sure Tola and Kunle had everything they needed, but because he was always busy, Kunle spent most of the day with Tola. Kunle helped Tola with her homework and sometimes play games with her. To everyone outside, it seems like Kunle was a good uncle, but in reality, Kunle was hiding a dark secret. When Mr. Shegun was not at home, Kunle began to mistreat Tola. He would shout at her, blame her for small things, and even hit her sometimes. Tola was too scared to tell her father. One day, when Tola entered into the kitchen to take some fruits to eat one afternoon, Kunle started shouting at her. She was so scared, telling him, Uncle Kunle, why are you shouting at me like this? I just came to the kitchen to take some fruit. Kunle shouted at her, don't ever enter this kitchen without telling me. As times went on, Kunle's behavior became worse. He started touching Tola in ways that made her feel uncomfortable and scared. Tola didn't understand why her uncle, who was supposed to take care of her, was behaving this way. She wanted to tell her father, but Kunle warned her, if you tell anyone, your father will hate you and he will send you away. Tola kept quiet. Every day she felt more afraid and alone. She stopped drawing and playing in the garden. She didn't smile as much as before. Even her teachers in school noticed something was wrong. Is everything okay at home? Her teacher asked one day. Yes, ma. Tola replied quickly. She didn't want anybody to know her secret. Poor Tola, she was dying in silence. One evening, Mr. Shegun came home early. He noticed that Tola didn't run to hug him like she usually did. She looked tired and sad. What is wrong, my dear? He asked her gently. Nothing, Daddy, Tola said, forcing a smile. Mr. Shegun didn't believe her. He decided to watch closely and found out what was happening. One night, Mr. Shegun came home earlier than usual. As he walked through the house, he heard Tola crying in her room. Quickly, he opened the door and saw Kunle in the room with her. Tola looked terrified. Kunle, what are you doing here? Mr. Shegun shouted. Kunle froze. He tried to make up a lie, but Mr. Shegun's anger was too strong. Tola ran to her daddy and hugged him tightly. Daddy, I am scared, she cried. Slowly, Tola told her father everything that had been happening. Mr. Shegun was heartbroken and furious. The next morning, Mr. Shegun called the police. Kunle was arrested and taken away. Mr. Shegun made sure his brother faced the full punishment of the law. "I trusted you," Mr. Shegun told Kunle when he visited him in the jail. "You were supposed to protect Tola. You were supposed to protect your small niece, but you betrayed her and our family." Kunle tried to apologize, but Mr. Shegun didn't forgive him. After Kunle was gone, Tola slowly started to heal. Mr. Shegun spent more time at home with her. He hired a kind woman named Auntie Bosse to take care of Tola when he was at work. Tola began to smile again. She started drawing and playing in the garden like before. She even told her teacher at school about what had happened. Her teacher told her, "You are very brave, Tola. Always speak up when something is wrong." Mr. Shegun learned an important lesson. He promised to always listen to Tola and spend more time with her. Tola grew up to be a strong and confident young woman. She always remembered her father's love and the lessons she learned from her experience. Just like Tola's teacher had told her, always speak up when something is wrong. Always watch closely and act immediately when something is wrong with your child. This is the end of our story. Please, guys, if you have not subscribed, please do well to subscribe and like this video.